Welcome in, Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
HUDRadio.com, live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. We're right here in Mount Ephraim, New Jersey, though. BMW Atlantic City, off exit 37 in the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of Atlantic City.com. Tom Renaud, Michael Matarak, Greg Milakovic, Rob Pogue on the ones and twos. Did I say your last name right?
You did.
Yeah, look at
Good
that.
job.
Nailed it. Off to a great start.
This is the best day ever. I got the 100% Italian, the 100% I'm going to assume Slavic, Russian,
Close
Polish,
enough.
whatever, and I'm just rolling halfsies.
European descent. Speaking of European descent, we'll talk about Stanley Cup finals.
Great segue.
Was Charles Barkley correct in his assessment of the Cup compared to the NBA playoffs? Talk about that later on. Trade talks will begin in December. Will the Sixers remain number 3 in the NBA draft? Will they trade down and add additional picks or players? Later on in the show, Warriors. Can they sweep the Cavs in the NBA Finals, or can the Cavs make it a series? Right now, 13-11 Cleveland. We'll see how that goes, but they better hope Golden State gets real chilly. OTAs wrapping up a mandatory mini camp just around the corner. Have your expectations for the Eagles changed? Do they have enough talent to make a run at the NFC East title? We'll get into that later on. And they better. We'll just leave that there for right now. They better.
They better.
Our poll question and our main topic brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. Rocking the gear. Mike Schmidt's opinion of Odubel Herrera. Spot on, correct but poorly stated, mostly inaccurate, dead wrong. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. Anything else you want to talk about, hop in the chat. We'll answer any questions. We're here for the people. No Agenda Radio. Hey, how are you? Michael.
For the people, by the people.
For the fan, by the fan. Anyway, we can slice it.
As we like to say. What do we got going on here? LeBron.
Fading away.
How are you going to fade away from 3?
He's having a triple-double. He's not. He's fine.
He's not tired.
He's fine. So, yeah, All right, so your opinion on Mike Schmidt.
You're looking to go to war early tonight, aren't you?
No, I mean.
Here's my opinion of this whole.
When in Rome.
Well, yeah, this is what we do. My opinion of this whole scenario is that Mike Schmidt is like a dinosaur. And do I feel that Odubel Herrera, the question was, is Odubel Herrera a guy that you can build your team around? And do I believe that Odubel Herrera is the guy that you're going to build your team around? No, I don't. Could he be a superstar in Major League Baseball? Absolutely. But he's not the centerpiece of this team, and for reasons that we'll get into. But I think the problem with Schmitty is there's what he said, what he would have liked to have said, and what he should have said. I think it's 3 different scenarios. Well,
listen, I got a bigger question. I mean, who's even coming
up
with?
Why are they talking to him?
Why? Not that, but why is it even a question? Is he a guy to build your team around? When last year you spent the number 1 pick of all baseball, Mickey Moniak. I don't know. That's probably going to be the guy you're expected to build your team around. As much as I'm a Herrera guy, I don't think anybody's ever said that guy's a carrier or a guy you're going to build a whole team around. I think he's a good piece to your puzzle, but I don't think anybody is even asking that question to begin with.
No, and
if they are, they're ridiculous.
No, you're right. And to that point, the thing that really struck me about it was, when did we stop asking, is Mike Franco the guy you can build this team around? Has the Philadelphia media, and maybe to an extent even the team, gotten so cold on Franco all of a sudden that now they're just hoping that Herrera can bail them out until they can start signing the Machados, the Harpers, the Trouts, whatever?
Listen, there's nobody on this baseball team as constructed right this second at the major league level that's somebody you're going to build your franchise around. That's just real.
No,
that's real talk.
It is real talk.
So whoever asked that question's a moron and should be fired on the freaking spot.
Well, that was the dial, so there you go.
I think the question came from is this team was struggling for so long and they were so bad. They were lynching on something to find. They were finding some silver lining in how bad they really were. Because I agree, Mike. Where's the talk on Mike Franco? We thought maybe J.P. Crawford would be up by now, maybe Williams. Those are guys that I think they really, truly want to build around. And because they're not up, and they're actually, except for Williams, just struggling down low. Now they're kind of having to veer a little bit to find another potential face. I do agree. I agree he's not someone you want to build around, but I don't think Schmidt said it correctly.
No, he said it like a jackass.
Yeah.
He's completely wrong. And listen, when a game that I'm just venturing to guess, okay, I don't have this stat in front of me, but I would say of Latino, Hispanic descent, I will guarantee it's at least 40% of baseball. So it's if not more. I mean, I'm being low. I would think at least 50. I mean, I could think 50 and feel good about that. So it's like me saying, well, he speaks English, so he's not somebody you can build a team around. No, listen, Ichiro didn't speak a lick of English, all right? Not a lick. Pretty good ball player, guy you can build a team around. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm an idiot, and maybe I don't have a clue. But just because you have 500 home runs doesn't mean you have a goddamn clue about the game of baseball, though.
No, but
doesn't mean nothing. I love Schmitty, but that doesn't mean you have a clue.
You're right, but here's the thing. So they talked to Freddie Galvis, and Freddie Galvis said, look, I've known Mike Schmidt for 8 or 9 years. I've never had a problem with him. He always shoots straight with me. He doesn't have a thing against Latino ball players. He's not a bigot, whatever. So if that's the case, and Galvis was then the mediator between Herrera and Schmitty, then what I want to know is, hey, Schmitty, what the hell are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that he's a clown? Okay, tell us something we don't know. He's 25 years old. Are you trying to say that his baseball IQ may not be the highest? Okay, great. Tell us something we don't know. He's 25 years old. It's his third year in the major leagues. You're going to tell us that he makes boneheaded plays on the bases? Okay, great. Tell us something that we don't already know. Like, was it a situation where Schmitty just didn't want to come out and say, I think he's a dumb baseball player? And because he didn't want to say he's dumb, he just goes reaching for that old coot excuse of, oh, it's a language barrier, it's a cultural thing, or whatever. Like, I mean, come on. Just either call it like you see it or don't comment. And then and then he compounds the situation by saying that the guy on this team who should be the leader is Tommy Joseph. Well, guess what? Tommy Joseph's on borrowed time because Rhys Hoskins is the first baseman of the future for this team. So, I mean, I love Schmidt as a ball player, but as a commentator, as someone who was in the media, whatever, I mean, for however many years it's been since he's been out of baseball, this is probably, the 4th or 5th time he's put his foot in his mouth?
Yeah, I mean, you come out and make all the public statements and try to clean up what you said, but at the end of the day, what you say is what you mean. Right. And I'm not a believer in when you say something, being able to take it back. Well, think about what you're saying before you say it. And again, do I believe Odubel Herrera is a guy you build a franchise around? No. Well, do I think he's a good piece to have?
Sure.
Absolutely.
In the puzzle? No question. I mean, if you get away with batting Odubel 6 in a lineup, you're sitting pretty LeBron flopping, or is he really?
I don't know if that's a flop. I want to see the replay on that. Yeah, it looks legit.
Somebody looks dead. Did he die? Did LeBron James just die on air? I mean, you want to talk about trending. He running his own guy?
Tristan.
Oh. Tristan
Thompson.
He took Thompson's elbow right to the jaw.
Well, he ran right into him. I mean, that's on him.
Yeah, well, it is on him.
Look,
shoulder to the jaw. Yeah, he might be out.
You're out.
Nah, he's too big. He's too big.
Hey, you know what? Tristan Thompson is killing the Cavs. He's killing them.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Chloe.
Yeah, the big fermental is what I was calling him the other night. But no, I just, like I said, if Herrera's a guy who's been 6th, 7th in your lineup, your lineup's looking pretty. And I don't think anybody's out there crowning Odubel Herrera. Now, do I like him a little bit more than others? Yeah, but I just don't I don't care about all the extra when you're hitting. Now, do I have time for sack flies down 9-2 and you bat flip it? I got zero time for that. Okay, but I also take it with a grain of salt when you're talking about Latino ball players. And people can argue that all they want with me, but it's the style of play. Now, is it always in the right spot? No. I mean, Batiste had a homer and bat flip down 5 runs.
But it was a homer.
There's
no doubt about it.
But still, that's
he's not pimping a double to the warning track.
He's not pimping a sacrifice fly.
I understand that, but it's still bad.
It is.
Anyway, you want to slice
you're
it.
right.
Sure.
So
we may actually not disagree on this as much as I thought.
And you got to think too. We just came out of the Chase Utley era, where there's how many kids in this area are named Chase after Chase Utley, the ultimate professional and the guy, the face you really want. And now this team has no identity of that on here.
It's actually really funny that you mentioned that, because I know 2 families that have 3 boys, and the 3 boys, both families, they don't know each other, and it's probably a good thing, but the 3 boys are Cole, Chase, and Ryan.
There you go.
I mean, I don't think you have to say anything to be a leader. I think actions at the big league level on the field speak for themselves. Like, you know what I mean? To your point about Chase Utley, like, you don't have to be a rah-rah guy and say a lot of things at this level of play because, you know, there is a lot of me guys at this level. But it's about how you go out and go about your daily business. You can be the biggest me guy in the world, but if you hustle and you play the game the right way, you know, it gets overlooked.
Do either of you guys, kind of going back to, like, some of the chatter that's been happening over the last 24 hours, do either of you guys think Mike Schmidt is racist or a bigot, or do you just think he's just old and doesn't know how to put his thoughts together?
I think he's just old.
I just think he's that old, and that era is who they are.
Right.
That era, they're not going to change. Regardless of how much we want them or society wants them to change, that era and that age group is never going to change. Why? They're going to die here in a couple, you know, I mean, you hate to say it, but they're on their last, you know, they're on the downhill of their life. So what are they going to change for?
It's actually interesting. I was reading an article today by Marcus Hayes, and 99 times out of 100 I could wipe my ass with the stuff that he writes, but he actually made a statement in the article today that listening to Mike Schmidt's statement was like listening to Archie Bunker lecture Edith in like a 1975 episode of All in the Family. And he hit it spot on because it's what it was. It's not a true, you know, bigoted or racist statement, but it's just a guy who is just way past his prime being opinionated on something that he probably just shouldn't even talk on.
No, like I said, he's right in terms of he's saying that Herrera is not a guy you're going to build a team around. Yes, in terms of that, yeah. But in terms of language barrier or any of that crap, not even talking about Latino and Spanish-speaking ball players when most of the game is, when it's at least 50-50. Like I said, it's like saying a white guy who speaks English or a black guy, you know, can't lead a team because they speak English. Right. I mean, that's sort of how the locker room's built out. But like I said, it's about how you go about your daily business on the baseball field, and them antics get old. But at the end of the day, we would overlook all them antics if he's hitting.
Right.
I think that goes for any player.
And he probably's not doing it if he's batting sixth and he's got a group of guys around him like what we used to have here with Jimmy Rowan or Jimmy, Chase, and Ryan.
Right. Well, I mean, and then a guy like Schmidt, you know, with him being the old school guy, he's going to take those antics the wrong way because he's, you know, he's 70s and 80s, which means he's got to stick up his ass because they just didn't pimp anything back then.
Right.
The only one that did was basically Reggie.
Doug saying loving the shirt.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Bob Hartman, I like the soft. Crosby sucks. Mike Klinkoff says Mike salty, 2 rings. Bernie Campbell.
Klinkoff, I'm not salty. I'm just trying to get a laugh out of some folks tonight.
Bernie Campbell chiming in. I'm pretty sure Schmitty was saying Odubel Herrera could be the leader of this team if not for the language barrier, which, you know.
That's what he said, but that's clearly not what he meant.
No. So what?
Come on, Bern.
You know, so you're saying he could be a leader, but because he speaks Spanish, he can't be when half of baseball speaks Spanish.
Right.
So it just makes you even dumber. It just made everybody dumber. That's all. I mean, Herrera, not a guy you're going to build a team around with or without a language barrier.
Right.
He's just not Mickey Moniak was drafted number 1. That's the guy you're going to build your team around. J.P. Crawford, high pick, guy you're looking to build your team around. Nick Williams, Rise Hoskins, you know, Jorge Alfaro. They're the guys you're looking to build your team around. Now, has Franco and Herrera lived up to expectations? No, not at all. But that being said, they get a full year to try to work out them kinks, in my opinion. They get a full year to try to work it out.
What is your expectations of a Rule 5 guy? If that's the case, Herrera's lived up to him.
And beyond.
Right.
Like, if a Rule 5 guy makes one All-Star game, you're like, all right, that's a win.
I completely disagree with that, though, because the first year, I mean, yeah, he's a Rule 5 guy, but the first year he hits 287. Second year he hits 291 and goes to an All-Star game. The Rule 5 thing's got to go out the window. This is year 3. He's got to bring it.
Agreed, but it's not like he was a top pick.
No,
he was a Rule 5 guy for a reason.
You're right.
He was stumbling in the it was the Rangers, right? He was stumbling in the Rangers system.
Well, he was a second baseman and he was behind Odor.
So, has he lived up to expectations? For now, yes. Have they now been raised? You're absolutely right.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but also them 2 years of what he did is my point is that when anybody was like talking about sending him down is ludicrous because he deserves the year to figure it out because of what his track record has been at the plate.
And I don't disagree with your thought process at all. And you and I have kind of talked about this offline a little bit, but I think the reason that it came up as heavy as it did is because they have 4 outfielders at AAA right now, 3 of which are on the 40-man roster that are just raking. So it would have been okay for him to go down for a week to 10 days and literally just track pitches or just work on taking the ball the other way or work on hunting fastballs or whatever, and then bring him back up. They wouldn't – I mean, the team was already losing. It wouldn't have been a roster shuffle, and that's why I think that June 1st date was so important. I got into this with a couple of guys that when June 1st rolls around, if you bring up a guy that's never been up before, you don't lose that full year of service time until you wait until after June 1st. That's why Maikel Franco didn't come up until June that one year. Everybody gets the whole arbitration service time thing. So I think that, has he earned the right to stay up for the full year and work it out? Yeah, absolutely. But because he was a Rule 5 guy, he had to stay up with them the entire first year.
Yeah.
Which meant he retained his options. So he's still got 2 options left. And if it was a situation of you want to send him down and you want to bring up a Quinn or a Williams and give them some exposure, kind of like what we talked about with the Cardinals, where they would bring guys up for a week or 10 days at a time and give them exposure in the major leagues so that when they had to be up full time, they were ready. So I get your point and I don't disagree with you, but there is an entire other side of the coin where it wouldn't necessarily have been the worst thing in the world.
No, but to me it is because you start with a sit down. In terms of like putting a guy on a bench first.
Well, you can't sit him down. He doesn't speak English.
So
I got to talk to him.
With him and Franco, it's about giving the mind a little breather for a minute. 'Cause, I mean, the guys get to the ballpark at like 1 o'clock. I mean, they get their swings. They can track enough. They can do all the things that they would do with the minors. At a better or in a better environment.
That's actually a great point that you made, though. I don't think a lot of guys realize that Major League Baseball players, they play a game, but even a home game, that's a 12-hour day.
Oh, easy.
I mean, you're getting to the ballpark at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and chances are you're not getting out of there till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, is it a hard day? No.
You're Pat Burrell and you're going out.
And you're smashing.
Yeah,
and you're
Smash
just laying
so.
wood.
You're smashing. Just giving every disease in the book around.
South
Jersey.
I agree. You don't send them down because that sets a bad precedence with your team, right? Your highest paid player struggles for a little bit, and he was bad.
Yeah, nobody's questioning that.
Bad.
Yeah.
And then you send him down. I didn't necessarily want him to send him down. I wanted him out of town. I was like, just
wait,
get
who are we
rid of
talking
him.
about here?
Herrera.
He's not their highest paid player.
Well, he was the big contract recently.
Well,
yes.
all right, but and stick with that for a second though, because going back to the whole premise of can you build a franchise around him? If you were going to build a franchise around him, if he was even going to be one of the cornerstones, he would have got more than $30 million for 5 years. $6 million a year for a starting center fielder is a bargain. That contract is team friendly and it's trade friendly. So that right there should tell the media, Schmidt, whoever, that Herrera, if he performs, he stays, and if he doesn't perform, he's probably going to get traded.
Yeah, which is fine. It's just the thing about you're not going to, to me, you're just not going to send that guy down because it does put a bad taste. It could put a bad taste in the mouth of other players.
Yeah. And,
it doesn't set a good example. Like, a guy had a good first 2 years, and as soon as he struggled 2 months into the season, we don't trust him. And we're gonna send them down. That's all I'm saying. If you want to talk about after a full season, if he's not getting it done and Franco's not getting it done, well, then you got to revisit some things. Well, you know what I mean? Then you got to look deeper into it. But,
and fair point, but again, other side of the coin. And Ryan Brodo said this last night.
I don't think then he's completely off base.
Well, hold on a second. He said that no one on the team as it's currently composed is owed anything.
Oh, but that's freaking bullshit. That's an asinine comment. You just paid a guy money, and he is the highest paid position player on your team. He is owed something. He's owed the third year, and if he doesn't get it right, then we can talk at the end of the year. And I'm gonna get pissed off about this because it makes no sense. You at the big league level, everybody's so quick. Oh, send him down. He'll get it right down there. We bitch and moan about guys coming the hell up because they're gonna get better coaching and better experience at the big league level. But then we're saying to a guy who was the best player the last 2 years on your baseball team, oh, you struggled for 2 months? Oh, we'll send you down. That's a bad precedent to set. That's what scared organizations do, and that's what bad organizations do. Now, to sit him down for a week, I had zero issue with. And for Franco, I have zero issue with, hey, bud, we're going to send you down for a week, because that's how you set a tone. You don't set a tone by sending them to the minor leagues. You do that with just guys. You don't do that with a guy that just signed the contract, was an all-star last year. Any way you want to slice it, we could say, oh, every team gets one. He still was.
He was.
So it's not fair to him, and it's not fair to a young player like Franco that gets sent down, because what does that do? That puts more pressure when you come up to the big squad that, hey, if I don't produce in like a week, now think about that. This is a mental game. So now I'm thinking about, oh, my God, if I don't get a hit, if I don't go 3 for 4, if I don't do this, I'm getting sent back down again. In a game where we talk about that needs to be a team game, it becomes individuality real quick in terms of what players are thinking. And then at the plate, you want to have clear minds. And if you're thinking about getting sent down the back of your head, I'm not saying that's going to put a spark in a guy's ass. I think what's going to put a spark in a guy's ass is saying, there's the pine for 10, right? Yeah. And, that's where you're going to go. I think that's better results is all I'm saying than sending him down. No, nobody's owed anything in Major League Baseball. But what you do previously dictates a little bit what you're owed.
So you still think there's hope for Franco?
No, I'm not going with Franco. We're just talking about Herrera.
No, I understand, but you keep pairing them together.
Because they are paired
and that's a good question, though, because what I was going to say, why is it okay for Franco but not Herrera?
Who said to send Franco down? I never did.
No. I'm just not sending him down. I'm just saying, is there any hope for Franco?
Well, let's go back. Let's go back and clarify something for a second.
Yeah.
Are you talking sit him down or send him?
Sit.
Okay.
Sit.
Okay.
Sit. I have zero issue with a 10-day sit down or a week sit down and say, hey, just relax the mind. Just breathe a little bit. Get back out there, study some more tape, do some more things, fix your swing, fix some mechanics, and then get back out there. So, that you can get out there with a clear mind and maybe gain some confidence that way. That's what I'm talking about. But I don't think Franco deserves to be sent down either, not because he's struggling. I mean, he's bad, okay? But you as an organization, you owe it to yourself. Forget owe it to a player. You owe it to yourself if one of your higher tier prospects at the time, right, who had a pretty good year last year for being a young player, you owe it to yourself to see it through a little bit. You're not winning anything right now, so you're gaining nothing by sending him down. You need to see, hey, can this guy figure it out at the big league level? Sure. Not going to go down to AAA and go on a little hitting spree and then come back up and see big league sliders all of a sudden and then struggle again. Can he figure it out at this level is what I need to see. And sending him down, to me, it's just masking the issue. That's what it does. It masks the issue instead of saying, hey, he just can't play. And then I think after a year, I think you can figure that out more so than 2 months or an all-star break, because maybe a guy has a monster second half. You know what I mean? Mm. And that's all. And I'm not saying the other thought process. I just think it's not real in terms of how Major League Baseball works. Not real. I mean, we're not talking like Little League where you're like, he's just not getting it done. He doesn't make the team next year, Johnny. These guys get a little leeway when you're a younger player. You just do, especially when a guy like Franco, where you had a pedigree in the minors. This is a guy talk about raking in the minors. He did that. He did his part down there. Now he had a good year. Struggled this year. Now let's see if he can break out of it. I'm not saying he is or isn't, but you owe it to yourself to see, because you just do.
To be honest with you, I know that the conversation has been centered around Herrera because of the flash and because he's the lightning rod and whatnot. But if you look at Franco, this isn't a 2-month thing with Franco. I mean, Franco struggled all of last year too. I mean, he had some power numbers because he's a strong guy. He's going to fall into 25 homers. But what did he hit last year? 240?
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is like where you were saying with Herrera, he gets the full season. Well, for me, Franco had the full season last year, and now he's 2 months in this year. The struggle, I think, for Franco is real, and it's worse.
Yeah, no.
And the thing that scares me is they don't have shit in their system at third base because they've put all their eggs in that Franco basket.
Well,
And the difference, too, is Herrera, as bad as he was at the plate, still plays defense. Franco can't catch a cold normally on a night. And that's where I'm not a Cody Ashley fan by any means, and I know we're going back, but this is where I wish he would have been able to hit a lick.
Because he can play some
defense. Because he can at least he can glove it down there at third base.
There's an option to do what you could do. You could move Hernandez to third.
Well, I was just thinking
and bring Kingery up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've mentioned that. I love that.
And move Caesar. I think he could play anywhere.
Yeah, well, he has in the past.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's definitely an option. It's some good thinking outside
But
the box.
you lose a lot of power, though. Not that Franco is providing any, but if your third baseman is Cesar Hernandez,
Yeah, you lose something.
you're losing power. You're losing that traditional power bat out of that third base hole.
Agreed, but at this point, I would take the offensive production overall from Hernandez and the projected production from Kingery over Franco's 240.
You sold me.
I mean,
I'm good. I'm just saying.
Because
where's the power going to come
Because here's
from?
what I'm doing is I'm biding my time until I can go out and sign Manny Machado.
Agreed.
Oh, here we go. Brian Daly. Right now, at the moment, there's no one to build around on this roster. There's pieces, yes, but everyone that you want to build around is still in the minors.
Correct.
Dawn Haynes, LOL, love the shirt, Mike. Doug Zeke said short bus. Doug Zeke, they're established MLB players, no minors. Ride the pine. Frank Farinella. Hey, Mike, can I buy a Val?
Yes, you can.
Doug Zeke, spot on. Thomas. Frank Vasby, Schmidt's statements, 99.99999% wrong.
No, Frank, he's not 99.999% wrong. He just said it all wrong.
Brian Keelak, Brian Daly, you can build a staff around Nola. He's going to be a stud.
Nola's a 3.
Doug Zeke, who cares? Getting Machado, right?
Amen.
Robbie, what's up?
I was going to say, did that answer your question, whether they can read your shirt?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just Franco's got to figure it out, or he is on a short leash here. But I mean, I would say more. You can maybe start talking June 1st, but again, I think you just ride it out for this year with him, and if he doesn't get it done, then you move on next year. I don't think you're in a rush to. You're not a good baseball team anyway. You're not going to gain anything out of it. Just see if he can get out of it.
Yeah, well,
and if he doesn't, then you find out.
And just like they did with Saunders and Kendrick, you hope that he gets hot. And if you realize that he is not your guy and he gets hot enough to drum up some sort of interest, adios.
Well, going back to the point that you were making a second ago, though, is you could keep Hernandez where he is, bump Kingery up to AAA. You could move Kendrick to third, drop Saunders, and get Williams and Cam Perkins up here because those or Williams and Quinn. So it's some combination. I mean, they have 4 guys right now at AAA in the outfield that are hitting between 280 and 290. 3 of them have double figures in homers. Quinn has a bunch of doubles and triples. And then the guy who's only hitting 240 is, oh, by the way, Dylan Cousins, who's got 14 bombs. So he'll get there. When you were on vacation, Memorial Day, I went up and I saw them play. They played an afternoon game against the Louisville Bats, Cincinnati's farm club. And, I mean, they only scored 3 runs that day. They won 3-1. They had 3 runs on 12 hits. I mean, guys are just raking. And I'm watching, Dylan Cousins hit a double to the gap in left center and then a double down the line in right field. I'm watching Alfaro go gap to gap. I'm watching Hoskins go gap to gap. Like, these guys in the minor leagues get it. Every one of them right now is just going gap to gap, off-speed pitch they're yanking down the lines. Williams he's still got problems with the strikeout-to-walk ratio, but he's killing the ball. He's got like 11 homers in the last month. I mean, the future's bright. Guys are ready. It's just going to be a matter of, like, I think the frustration lies in the whole thing of when McPhail and Klentak came on board, it wasn't supposed to be the way it was before. It was, the analytics were supposed to take over, and they weren't going to be as conservative with the kids. But what do we see? We see the analytics, the analytics are taking over too much because these guys forgot how to do a freaking eye test. And the kids...
Screw freaking analytics. Fucking screw them.
Just go watch a guy.
Yeah, and go down there and see, this guy rakes or this guy doesn't. I don't need a computer to tell me if a guy can play or not. If you can't tell me a guy can play yourself as the general manager of a Major League Baseball team, guess where you need to go? Down to the minors. So we want to talk about sending guys down. Matty Quintak doesn't wake the hell up. I'm going to start running. You know me. My whole agenda is to run GMs that don't get it done out of town as quick as possible. And if Matt Quintak next year and even halfway through this year doesn't start bringing kids up and making some splashes with all the money the Philadelphia Phillies make, he's on the next trip out of town in my book.
But
he gets time, but next year, no, Greg, they promised in 2018 we were going to compete.
And we will.
Oh, we will. We take a major step back this year. A major step back.
Because of our guys, Herrera and Franco.
Well, guess what? Who has control over that?
Agreed. But
not Herrera and just Franco. Are you kidding me? We can't pitch. We can't close games out. We got Michael Saunders stinks. I mean, Tommy Jones is hitting 230. Freddie Galvis stinks. I mean, I can just keep going on. Cameron Rupp's atrocious. I mean, do you want me to keep going on?
But
where I'm going.
We're not going to win this year. So
no
what's
shit.
the rush?
What is the rush? It's not a rush. I've been waiting 10 years.
But it's not even a rush.
Damn it.
But Crawford's not ready. I'm gonna bring up
Crawford. If you want to say Crawford's not ready, that's fine.
They're in Atlanta right now.
Right.
Yeah.
The Atlanta shortstop, Dansby Swanson.
Yeah, struggling.
He's batting 194, 5-6 homers, 20 RBIs. What happens when you bring one of our kids up and they do that in this media?
Well,
that's their shortstop in the future, and he can't hit a lick right now.
It's a good point, but this is
a different market,
right? But there's two huge buts with this. Number one, Dansby Swanson was the number 1 overall draft pick. Dansby Swanson went to college. Okay, he's also from Atlanta, and he was the key piece in the return for Shelby Miller.
Absolutely.
So he has to be in the majors. J.P. Crawford is still the 4th youngest kid in the International League in AAA. So there is I hear what you're saying, and you're not wrong, but there is a difference in age, maturity level, return on investment. I mean, there's a lot going on there that separates Swanson from JP.
Oh, and they gotta sell tickets to that brand new ballpark as much as anybody. But still, this is a different market. You can't put those numbers up in this market and make it for a very long period of time.
You're right, but I'll hit you with the flip side, and I've been saying this for 2 weeks now. Is for me, I would rather have an influx of kids come up and fail now so that they don't fail in 2018 and 2019 when we need them. I would rather them start coming up in waves, because if this losing shit is permeating the organization, you know what you do? Addition by subtraction. Just like they did years ago when they got rid of Corey Lytle and Bobby Abreu, you start hitting the dead weight out, you bring up the kids that have been winning big for the last 3 or 4 years as they've come up through the system, and you start infusing a winning attitude. Even if the kids aren't playing well, they know how to win, and it's going to turn over.
Oh, you're right. It's not practical.
But that's
not
the
in
thing.
this city. Not in this city.
But
It's
that's the
not
thing.
practical.
What? Are
But
we
that's-
just talking
but that's my
Crawford, or are
point.
we talking the Raps?
No, the whole influx. It's not practical.
It's completely practical.
Because that's
It's
what was
not, though.
but
It
that's
is,
what was
because-
supposed to
Not
happen
here.
with
But
this
no,
regime.
because this is why you sign guys in 1-year deals. This is why you brought these 1-year deals in, so you could move them at the deadline and bring the kids out.
Right, when's the deadline? Deadline's not June 1st. Deadline's not now. Bring it up for the last month of the year. Cool, I'm good.
But what does it matter?
It's not going to happen now.
What does it matter? What does 2 months matter at this
I
point?
agree with you.
Okay.
I want to watch them too. I'll actually go to the ballpark if they're all here.
Well,
But it's not going to happen.
Well,
not right now.
I'm on record with that. I have 2 games left this year, one of which is the Pete Rose Wall of Fame induction ceremony. I will not purchase more than those 2 games that I already have unless they start bringing some kids up.
Oh, I haven't been down there in a year and a half. Just
you
because
go.
I'd rather watch it at home.
No, I agree.
It's the ballpark versus at home with my 2 TVs. And
I'm
yada,
a little bit of a
yada,
junkie.
It's just, to me, I am in a rush. And I'll tell you why I'm in a rush, because they promised 2018 was going to be the year we compete. And I believe if you bring up a bunch of kids in 2018, that's not a year you're going to compete. So if that's the case, and that's what Pat Gillick and Matt Quintac and everybody else, McPhail told us when they came in, and this is how it's going to work. Well, guess what? We're a year away from that, not even. And these kids are hitting, and they're not getting called up, which what kind of message does that send the guys down there? The guy like Kinger, who doesn't even get called up to AAA, to a guy like Hoskins, who's flat out raking, to Williams, who's gotten hot. What does it say to these kids? Roman Quinn, who was up, obviously didn't make it out of spring training. okay, because of Michael freaking Saunders. I mean, just this is their decision. This ain't on me. You brought in just a guy, Michael Saunders, because why? You want a veteran presence?
I get it.
The guy's an average Major League Baseball player at best, and you could have had Roman Quinn up, who was up in September, and the only issue you can say if Roman Quinn can play or not is health. It's not about how he can play on the baseball field, because he can play. So it's a joke, and it's putting them on your teat and nursing them, and it's small market bullshit. This isn't Baltimore.
You're right.
McPhail, this isn't Baltimore.
Oh, and then basically what they did is they paid.
I just can't. It annoys me. I understand what you're saying. Like, it's unpractical to bring up 5 at once, but to bring up 2, because you can do that easily.
But here's the stupidity of it, though, is they're paying Michael Saunders $9 million so that they get an extra year before Roman Quinn goes to arbitration. Get the hell out of here with that. Right now, here on my phone is a microcosm of everything that's wrong with this organization. And I'm going to just lay it out here for you. Mm-hmm. Look, it's on one screen, and I'm not bullshitting anybody. One screen. Matt Adams walks in the bottom of the 7th. Ender Enciarte scores. The Braves extend their lead over the Phillies to 8-0. Meanwhile, Logan Moore singles in the bottom of the 4th. Taylor Featherston scores. Lehigh Valley ties Buffalo 3-3. And Mitch Walding hits a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 4th. Reading now leads Bowie 4-0. Your AA team's competitive, your AAA team's competitive, and your Major League team's getting their doors blown off. That's what we want in this city.
Am I the one who yo-yoed Jake Thompson? Am I the one who yo-yoed Roman Quinn? Am I the one who's left Nick Williams just rot down there? Am I that guy? Am I that guy who's letting Rice Hoskins just tear the cover off the ball for 2 years and not bring him up and not even give him a sniff at the big league level? Am I that guy? No, this is small market Baltimore Orioles bullshit that I have zero time with. We made the most money in baseball last year. Act like it a little bit. You know what I mean? That's all. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at McPhail.
I agree with the market. It's just you also
should just be McPhail, like Doug Zeke said. F-A-I-L.
Yeah.
I just don't think these kids understand that when they fail here, it's different than failing
no question.
at Lehigh Valley or in a different organization, period.
But guess what? The only way they're going to get a feel of that is by coming up and failing a little bit.
Agreed.
Because if you come up in 2018 and just hypothetically a Machado signed, and now everybody thinks, oh, we're going to compete more, and you have an influx of kids coming up, and then they fail, well, that pressure is going to be a lot more than failing on the worst team in baseball. I mean, you have no pressure. They come up now, there's zero pressure. You're the worst team in baseball. Well, you can't get any worse. And if I'm the Phillies, I tank again. I just tanked this season out now in terms of, like, I'm going to bring them all up. And if we don't get it done, we don't get it done because I'll just get a number 1 pick again. And then let him sit for 10.
Well, there's that. And then there's the other premise that we hear about all the time where they say it's easier to hit at the major leagues than it is in the minor leagues because pitchers are around the plate more. Strike zone's a little tighter. You're picking up the spin on the curve and the slider sooner than you are these flop breaking balls that you see in the minor leagues. If a guy's hitting 280, 290, 300, 310 at AAA, that's typically going to translate to 275, 280, 285 at the major league level.
Take like 20, 30 points off.
I mean, it's, guys that are hitting for power, yeah, I get the Reading effect. But Scott Kingery, half of his home runs are on the road, so take the Reading effect out of it.
Listen.
These guys go to
Lehigh Valley. I don't play that game, you know what I mean? If you hit the ball at the ballpark,
you're hitting the ball at the ballpark.
You're squaring balls up and squaring.
You barrel the ball.
Yeah.
But these guys at Lehigh Valley is a fair ballpark, and these guys are still hitting bombs. Like, there's no reason we shouldn't start seeing them cycle through.
It's amazing to me.
Ridiculous.
It really is. I mean, I'm at a loss for words because I feel like I've been talking about this since day one that I ever put a headset on, and it's continued. And I don't understand what the fear is. I don't understand what the reason is. Like, if I'm them, Michael Saunders isn't even signed. Howie Kendrick's not even signed. I'm not even going there. Clay Buchholz isn't even signed. Okay, you didn't bring up freaking Jake Thompson because of Clay goddamn Buchholz. That's all I need to know, that you're clueless. I don't even care if I don't even know if Jake Thompson's failing down there or not. All I know is you bring a kid up and you give him some major league experience, and then he doesn't make the team over a guy who's been a goddamn same team journeyman. I mean, how can you be a journeyman on the same goddamn team? And that's who Clay Buchholz is. He journeyed in Boston. Jesus, I can't deal with it anymore. I'm so tired of losing. I'm so tired of watching slop. I'm so tired of Michael having to travel to goddamn Reading and Lehigh Valley to watch winning baseball because he can't get into the big park. I'm sick of it. We're acting like we're the Tampa Bay Rays. I'll move to freaking Tampa then. Go watch a game in a shitty ballpark.
The weather's nicer.
It is nice.
It is nicer.
Yeah, beautiful.
Especially now in June.
It's great. I was just down there. Very great.
A
Great
journeyman in Boston.
Oh,
That's the funniest thing I've heard this week.
He's not wrong. And the thing that pisses me off is,
Oh, your shit pitching coach is the one who said this is a good signing. What does that tell you about him?
Yeah,
McClure's a jackass too.
he's a crumb.
Sorry, I'm done.
I mean, it's okay. You don't have to be because, I mean, and I'm not even sitting here trying to blow smoke because you and I talk about this constantly. And Greg, you see my stuff on social media. I mean, you know, do I think it was a mistake sending Zach Eflin down? Yeah, I absolutely do. He's another one that should have been given an opportunity to work it out. I've been begging for Ben Lively for the last year. They bring him up, and what does he do? 7 innings, 1-run ball. Everything's around the plate, pitching to contact. Jake Thompson, they screwed that kid so bad trying to use him as a reliever this year. At least with Mark Leiter Jr., last year towards the tail end and this year, they were using him in relief so that when they brought him up, they could use him as a reliever. You got to have guys come up and be in the same roles that they were in in the minors.
You bring up Jake Thompson and you put him as a long guy.
Go pitch the 8th inning.
You put him as a long guy.
Go be a long guy.
What are you talking about? What assessment did he give you that's who he is?
I don't know.
But you don't move Velasquez there.
But you don't, yeah.
Right? At the time when you had the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling that we could sit home and critique a baseball team better than the guys who get paid buku bucks to do it. Real quick, read off some comments here. Dave Kulak, Alfaro, Quinn, Kingery, Hoskins, Williams, Cousins, and the pitching in AAA. Yes, guys, they know how to win. Want to see them all up in the near future. Easier said than done. I'd like to see Aaron Altera with those guys. I know surplus of outfielders. Sean Hayes, love the show, guys. Very well informed. Phil's have to take that chance. Tom said it right. Lots of hypotheticals. Sean Hayes, the Phil's roster is a moving target. And Greg Kulak, great show, by the way, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for chiming in.
Greatly appreciate it.
So, we all, like I said, you're not wrong in terms of it being unrealistic to bring like 5 up at one time. You know what I mean? And they're all going to come up. But, like we said, I think we can all agree that 2. Yeah. 2, just show us something. I don't think we've ever asked for a lot. We just asked for the kids who rake to have a chance.
Go back to the thing that we talked about, though, a couple weeks ago that I referenced earlier is you look at a team like the Cardinals. It's what they did. I mean, when they had guys like Matt Carpenter, who's now a perennial all-star, when he was younger, he would come up for a week or two at a time and he would get acclimated. I mean, they did the same thing with Matt Adams, who's now the everyday first baseman in Atlanta, but he was starting for St. Louis before he got traded. Alan Craig, who, he's with Boston now, but he had several productive years for the Cardinals, but same thing they did with him. I mean, they
do it right.
Yeah, you look at teams that do it right. Go ahead.
It's funny you bring up the Cardinals because I was watching them the other day, and they just gave Randall Grichuk a huge contract. You know where he is right now? He's in the minors trying to figure out his swing because he can't hit a lick.
But they know talent.
But that's the difference. But it's a different market there, too. Yes, they win, and they are perennial winners.
But it's small.
It's small. And those best fans in baseball, or the best fans in the world in St. Louis, won't hammer on us on the show.
Right. Well,
right? They're not going to hammer. They're not hammering the GM.
No,
they're not
right.
hammering it because that culture is different there.
But you know why they don't hammer the GM? Because they win.
Because they win.
The GM has proved that he knows what he's doing.
There's no doubt.
Listen, I'm a big believer Ruben should have never been fired. That's just me. And everybody hates me for it, and I'm an idiot, and I don't know this, that, or third.
I'm on board with you.
The guy revamped the farm system. He literally, over a course of a couple failing years, made good moves and revamped it. And you know what I love about Ruben Amaro Jr.? Never ran away from an interview and coming out and being in public. When's the last time you've heard Matt Quintac talk? I'll wait.
He was on the game the other day.
Jerk off.
And it's funny.
You know what? You know what that is? That's called damage control.
It's funny you bring that up because it was right in the heat of Herrera's struggles, and he's on, and they go 1, 2, 3, and maybe 6 pitches,
and he's off.
And he's off the next half inning. I'm like, all right, cool. I won't move. I'm gonna wait and listen to him the next half inning. He's gone.
Doesn't want to answer the question.
Was in there for 5 minutes.
Scared.
I'll give you a Morrow never back down.
Never did.
He never
ran.
did.
Also, never met a microphone he disliked.
But he also didn't build that team that won the World Series, and we all know that.
But listen, we were on our knees when the 5 horses were here. And if anybody says in this city that they weren't blowing Ruben Amaro Jr., they're lying. Lying. In 2009, we were – right, he couldn't do nothing wrong. But put it all over my face, Ruben. I mean, really. So, you know. Now, did the arms fail him? Yes. Lee and Holiday got old quick and failed that. But to his credit, he revamped pretty quickly in a stretch. In a stretch of 4 or 5 years, he sort of revamped what was going on, and we were in a better situation than we were when everything bad went on.
Through 3 deals. Sorry, Greg, 1 second. Through 3 deals, he took you guys, you were 20-something on pipeline in terms of farm system, up to 7 in 3 deals.
In 3 deals.
I've never seen that in baseball.
Well, that was Robbie, you're on, because it was 3 deals, and then the next 2 drafts, one by him, one by the current regime, took it from 7 to what are they now, 4, I believe? Something like that? Okay.
But it's hard not to get better when you're that bad.
No. True
When you're trading the horses that he did because he made those bad moves. Listen, I agree with your premise that Ruben got a raw end of it on more than a likely base, on a more regular basis. But he did his time.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
We didn't have to trade Pence when we needed to, when he did. You know, I mean, we can go on his. He did make good moves, but with the drafts, was he really the one drafting?
Well, I mean,
that's the other thing too.
Well, I think a lot of.
But again, you're also drafting high, so
right.
it's
But
tough
that's
to
the
miss
thing.
there.
This is not a football thing where the general manager tends to be the be-all, end-all of the draft.
No, you got to rely on a lot of guys.
You're absolutely right.
Major League Baseball, I'd say the general manager has the least to do with it because it's the scouting department.
But he didn't delete Brian Dale. He did not delete the farm system with Holiday, Lee, Oswalt, because I'll wait for anybody to tell me any of the guys traded that are even playing in the big leagues.
Well, you know what? I saw
one. Jonathan VR. That's it.
That's it, and he's not even any good.
But I saw an article.
Villar from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
okay.
He's batting 216.
There was an article out there, though,
fantasy, that's why.
that touched on this, and it's true. Now, while none of those guys are hurt us per se, getting rid of them, but you look at a guy like Jared Cozart, right? Went to Houston in the Hunter Pence deal, right? Houston then flopped him to Miami for now their everyday left fielder and a very good utility guy. So, yeah, while Cozart didn't hurt us leaving, it netted the next team something better.
But you can't look at it that way. You have to look at it as what did the player do, not what did the player net, because we can't be responsible for what another team does once that asset is gone. You have to look at that player. What did they do? And I like your thought process. I do. But you got to look and you got to say, Kyle Drabeck, Michael Taylor, Jonathan Singleton, Jared Cozart, Trevor May, and the list goes on.
You're not wrong.
I mean, the only one of these guys that they traded that I would even want to have back is Carlos Carrasco.
Yeah.
That's it. That's easy, only one.
I agree with that. I don't think he depleted the system. I think he went all in. I think he saw the window opportunity. I believe this. I believe that also upper management at the time, David Montgomery and the rest of everybody, put pressure on winning another one. And I felt like when these offers came across where you can get Roy Halladay, I think anybody in baseball who didn't make that move is a complete jackass.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
And that's where 09 still bites us in the ass. We win in 09, we're never having this conversation.
No.
Because we won twice.
Exactly.
And we're good. But because we won once and that heartbreaking loss in 09, now we're still salty 5 years, 6 years, 8 years later.
No.
Well,
I agree with that.
It's a great point. But, I mean, could you imagine, though, if 09, 2 things happen. Number one is Cole Hamels doesn't basically, wear himself out in August because he spent the entire offseason on the victory tour, and Pedro Martinez had anything left in the tank. Because they were a better team than the Yankees.
Oh, there's no doubt.
They were absolutely a better team than the Yankees, and they should have won that World Series. And then the other piece being 2010, we can get Roy Halladay, but to clear payroll, we need to move Cliff Lee. If they could have started with Halladay and Lee at the beginning of 2010, understanding that the whole Ryan Howard situation was what it was. If they go into 2010 with Halliday, Lee, and Hamels as their 1, 2, and 3, Pedro's gone, Blanton is still floating around, and then they add Oswalt as that season's going on, and they have those 4 aces in 2010 instead of 2011, they're winning another one. It's just how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, again, we're not having this conversation.
Right.
Because we only won one in that window, we continue to have this conversation. And we continue to worry about guys coming up, guys going down. When's the next wave coming through? Because we only got that one. And you're right, we did go all in. Everybody bought in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't think anybody who didn't go all in, I think they would be stupid at the time. And then he gets crushed for the Howard deal. But come on, dude. At that time, if you don't sign the most prolific power hitter in baseball at the time and the biggest feared guy in all of baseball at the plate, if you don't sign him, you're a jackass. You can't assume or predict that he's going to tear his Achilles. You just can't. You can't assume that. And what sucks is, that Achilles, he was older in his career at the time, and he was never able to rebound enough from the Achilles, which hurt this baseball team. But that's not Ruben's fault, because any GM signing him to that money at that time. Anybody is. And if you don't, and I even said it numerous times, if Ruben Amaro, if he wasn't signed when his contract was up, I was done with the Phillies. And I think a lot of fans would have said the same thing, because you just can't predict that kind of thing to happen to a guy. I mean, he's a guy, if he never got hurt, could have easily played till he's 38, 40 years old, and he just never was able to rebound well enough from Achilles. And that's a shame, because it really ruined the guy who could have hit 500 home runs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
nobody hit more in a stretch.
Right. Yeah.
than that guy did during that period.
No, he had one of the most. We've talked about it before. He had one of the most prolific, 3 or 4 year stretches in the history of baseball.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Rookie of the year, MVP. I mean, he just came on the scene and said, hello. And you remember in Atlanta, late in Atlanta, we hit the opposite field homer his rookie year. And we were on a little tear and playing some good baseball. And you just, man, this is, but that was all Ed Wade, too. But he was king of the nothing move. But they were his guys. He just wasn't here to see it through. Maybe Ruben's not going to be here. Ruben's not here to maybe see this wave through. It's just how the game works, to your point.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sort of tying a bow around this thing, going back and sort of
that's too easy.
Pulling it all together. I mean, it's interesting that Monday is the Major League Baseball draft, or the day one of the draft. And last year at this time, this city is because we had the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Everybody in this city is trying to project who they're going to take, what position, where's the need, et cetera, et cetera. And now, there's almost no talk about it at all. But I think it's going to be very telling when they make their first-round selection.
Where are they at this year?
I think 7 or 8. But, to me, it's going to be telling. Because if they take a guy who projects as a third baseman, or who projects as a left fielder, or who projects as a catcher, to me, that's going to be very telling, because that's going to tell me that the guys they either have in the system or at the major league level are not necessarily the building blocks that we think they are. So I think they're going to ride Moniak for a while. I think Cornelius Randolph is actually turning it around nicely this year.
Yeah, he can hit.
And we may see him
both
bump
those guys
up pretty
can
quickly.
Hit.
And I think the thing that with Randolph at the beginning is that you have to take into consideration the move of the position.
Yeah.
And obviously going up big time in levels.
From
high
high
school to
Florida
seeing
State League,
big league pitching, essentially, right?
Absolutely.
And then you're moving to the alpha. Now you got to think, and that all affects you at the plate right away.
See, and it's interesting because now,
crazy how it works, right?
Knowing what we know about their system, I got to wonder if it wouldn't be worth a shot sending him to the Arizona Fall League as a third baseman and getting him back into some infield.
Not a bad take. Let's take a break, and we'll come back on the other side, and we'll continue our conversation. If it's Phil's, we'll go into some Eagles OTAs, talk about the NBA Finals, talk about some NBA draft conversation, as well as Charles Barkley's comments, all that, much more. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM,
A2DRadio.com, and every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, GibsonMayor.com. That's GibsonMayor.com. And this segment was brought to you by Soap Stash LLC, the new soap standard. Listen, man, great bars.
You smell good.
I do. I feel good. You look good, feel good, soap good is what they say. Nobody says that. But SoapStash.com is where you can find them, or Soap Stash LLC on the book. We'll be right back.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Hey, do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com TodayRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Welcome back, Tom.
Mike,
AM.
in the PM.
A2DRadio.com. Tom Renaud, Michael Madrod, Greg Milakovic, Rob Povey on the ones and twos, live from the BMW Atlantic City studios. BMW Atlantic City, Rob exit 37 on the Parkway. Find them online, BMWAtlanticCity.com. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours, Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. James Gibson actually chiming in, Gibson Mayer in the house. Lenny Robinson, let me get some of that tropical fruit Starburst, some Skittles. You got to get the blood sugar back up in here.
All right, I can't stop. I can't wait.
Yeah, wait 1 sec. Our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find on the web, scanzanosports.com. Mike Schmidt's opinion of Odubel Herrera is spot on. Correct, but poorly stated, mostly inaccurate, or dead wrong is where we all stand on the language barrier part of it.
The language barrier part.
Yes.
Yes, we all stand there on the language.
On the language barrier, yes.
On other things, we agree spot on in terms of just the player.
The premise of what he was trying to say, we all agree.
Guy's a good player. He's not you're like your future star. I think he's going to be a really good hitter over time. I just believe in his hand-eye coordination. I think he's got that side of it pretty good. Now, as he went through a struggle, yeah, he's gotten hot of late and has been doing better. But, you drafted Mickey Moniak for a reason. And that's the guy, when you draft number 1 overall, that's the guy you're looking for as your future and the guy you build around. But I digress.
I got to do it. I got to look square into the camera and just ask the question. Pete McCannon, I'm looking directly at you. I know you're busy. You'll watch this later.
Is he?
He may not be. What in the complete fuck are you doing? Okay, did you not learn anything from the last regime that was in Philadelphia? Ladies and gentlemen, during the break, many of you have probably turned off the Phillies game because they're getting their clocks cleaned, but he just used Andres Blanco as a pitcher with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. A little ha-ha-ha. He wants to bring Andres Blanco in to try to get the final out of the 8th inning. Andres Blanco is throwing 70-mile-an-hour batting practice fastballs, and he gives up a 2-run homer to take this from a 12-0 game to a 14-0 game. Or as my buddy Mike Hale would say, the Phillies are giving up touchdowns yet again. This bullshit has got to stop. The whole premise of using position players as pitchers, I get it. It's fun and people get a kick out of it or whatever. I'm sorry. It shouldn't happen before the 14th or 15th inning of a game ever. Ever. I mean, Ryan Sandberg, and Greg, to your point, Ryan Sandberg was in over his head anyway, but Ryan Sandberg lost Chase Utley and the rest of the team when he let Jeff Francoeur throw like 50 pitches in an inning and a third about 2 years ago right at this time. This whole idea of using position players as pitchers is a joke if you don't have to do it. And to me, this tells me that the manager is checking out. When he is just so flabbergasted that he's just going to throw up his hands and put his backup shortstop in to try to get one out. Like, you can't let your pitcher get one more out. You can't bring in another pitcher to get another out. And, oh, by the way, this is now 4 consecutive games for Herrera with 2 doubles.
I'm just saying that my assessment is spot fucking on.
Interesting.
And anybody out there
that it took June 1st to make this happen.
That takes shots at me for believing that this kid can hit and hit consistently at the big league level. You just don't hit that many doubles. Like, that's Aaron Hill doubles. You know what I mean? Remember, Aaron Hill
was a doubles machine.
And when this guy's going, he's going. And you don't find them guys. They don't grow on trees. Like, you talk about power hitters don't grow on trees. Extra base hit guys don't just grow on trees. And they're good to have in your lineup. Now, again, as the star of your lineup, no. You know what I mean? Yep. But, again, you just never know. You know what I mean? Could he be? And he's 25 years old. He's not even in the prime of his career yet. But did the antics maybe hurt that? Maybe, but there's guys that have them antics and are damn good baseball players. So it just
I can't believe
it's all
I'm
unknown. Everything's unknown with the Philadelphia Phillies.
I can't believe I'm sitting here watching a 14-0 baseball game with Andres Blanco batting out of the 4 spot.
Oh, that's all. Yeah, that's
and being announced as the pitcher.
Double switch.
Like, I get the whole concept of the double switch and everything, but
he knew what he was doing. Moving a runner over, trying to get one in, making a 14-1 game.
Now we're gonna make it respectable.
Suicide squeeze. Let's go.
Jesus Christ!
It's just amazing, and it's amazing that like I said, McPhail and Quintac continue to nurse and put players on their teeth and milk them until they're 18 years old. Yeah. You know what I mean? There comes to a point like you're not nursing your kid at 4. All right? You know what I mean? There's a point where you put the tit away and you let the kid play. Right? Let him run around. Let him drink some real milk. All them things. Fundamentals. And to continue to have kids hit down there and continue just to sit and never get a call up, what does that set? What kind of precedent did that set that you can hit all day but never get called up? It's small market bullshit, and to me, I'm over it. You promised me 2018 it would be a better baseball team. This team's digressed.
As I said in the break, seeing Andres Blanco pitching, I'm sold. I still believe it ain't happening, but let's go. I'm in.
You're gonna pull shit like that.
Open the floodgates because you're right. You can't watch that. As much as I love watching position players pitch because I think it's
they're on the board
and we break the schneid. You can't have that happen. And I agree. If it's not a 15-inning game, a 13-inning game, these relievers are paid millions to do what they do and pitch every day.
If you're the Houston Astros right now and you need to pull a move like that in a game like this
because you're the best team
in baseball, you can pull a move like that, and your fans are gonna be like, "Oh, that's cute, that's fun," because it doesn't matter when you're the worst team in baseball. You can't look worse, right? I mean, you can't try to look worse. Fake it till you make it, the whole 9. This is ugly.
All right, but here's the excuse, though.
He's pulling head. Look at the head. You can't hit with your head
right here
pulling
but I could tell you, here's the excuse, though.
Yeah.
We didn't want to use another arm because we're in the middle of a road trip, and if we had to send someone down and bring up a minor leaguer to replace him, it's too difficult logistically to get them here in time for tomorrow's game.
Oppo.
Imagine that. You learn how to hit by going Oppo.
Oh, he just listens to Matt Stairs a little bit. When he is doing that and his head is staying down through the baseball and he's thinking away, he can be a good hitter. It's when he gets in that Carlos Gomez nonsense where the head flies out and it's not. But 30 home runs are great, but like Mike said, when you're batting 220, that means shit to me because I can find them guys on the street.
Did he actually take that to the opposite field, or did he just bail and get it off the end of the bat real late.
Well, we're gonna throw him a bone,
We're
Mike,
giving
at
the
this
benefit of the
point.
doubt because we didn't actually say
Christ.
it. But I'm going.
Christ.
I'm going. Let's go.
This guy could get moved though tomorrow. Michael Saunders
Hey,
can jump off the Walt Whitman.
It's all line drives in the box score, fellas.
Very true. Very true. Can we just talk
James
about
Gibson
something
goes
else?
rally cap, fellas. All right, let's go.
Gotta
let's move on.
Gotta love when the sponsor chimes in.
We'll get the finals back on here too, and stop talking Phillies because.
Oh no, you gotta leave it because this jabroni will hit a 3-run jack now.
No, that's
Bye-bye.
irrelevant.
That's all Tom needs right now.
That's all I need.
Let's go watch the Cavs get beat.
Yeah.
Well, OTA's wrapping up, and
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Not a LeBron.
What?
Not a LeBron guy, I guess.
No.
It's all right.
It happens.
With OTAs wrapping up, mandatory mini camp just around the corner. Have your expectations for the Eagles changed? They have enough talent to make a run at an NFC East title.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know OTAs were going on. I'm not even in Eagles mode right now.
I don't get there yet.
But
I'm so fed up with the Phillies that I got into Eagles mode about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but the premise though, do the Eagles have the talent? I don't think no, and I think it starts at the top. I don't think Howie Roseman's the guy, and B, I don't think Doug Peterson's the guy. Now he's here. They're both here. They're going to be here. But I think the talent. I think the talent starts from the top, and that's where we lack it the most. Is the on the field talent better? It's getting there. It's getting there. But it goes to show when washed up guys like Jeremy Maclin come on the market, Eric Decker, who I brought up yesterday just to throw wood in the fire. When those guys come on the market, why do we automatically jump right to them if our team is good enough? And that should prove right there that we don't have the talent yet. We're getting better. I absolutely agree we're getting better.
But you know what can overcome all that? Howie Roseman, who I hate with a passion, and I've been trying to run out of town for a couple of years now. All right, do I like Doug Peterson a little more than you do? Yeah, that's fine. I mean, time will tell on that one. But at the end of the day, you know what can mask all that, both of them? Is Carson Wentz is just a flat-out stud pup.
Sure.
Right, so, I mean, I agree with you completely on Howie Roseman. I despise him. I don't think he knows a lick about football. He wants to. He wants to be the football guy. Stick to what you know, and what you know is money, cap, contracts. Stick to that, Daddy. All right, you don't need to be a football guy. Now, Joe Douglas hopefully has a little more say around there.
Look at my thumbs.
Nick Williams, sole homer.
Guy, it's now 12 in the last month, and he can't get a fucking call up?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Can he pitch?
You can leave. You're wrong. I love you, but you're wrong. You stop it.
Listen, Sean Spielman says because Eagles fans love to try to overvalue recycled goods. Not me. I mean, now some of these guys in groups out there that I've came across, hell yeah. Okay, because they think it's mad. And listen, they better compete for an NFC East title.
Oh, they
better, because that means if not, Howie Roseman continues to fail as general manager, and this should be his last year. In my opinion, this is it. This is make or break for Howie Roseman. You went out and signed Band-Aids to try to compete, right? If you don't compete, what does that say? It means you made a bad hire a head coach, okay, and you don't know what the hell you're doing.
I'm not against them kicking the tires on Maclin or actually Eric Decker for that matter. But it would have to be for a very specific reason.
I am.
And I know you are, but the reason would be if they think that they're either not going to or not going to be able to re-sign Jordan Matthews after this season, they may need to try to move him before the season to get something, second, third round draft pick in return. And if they have to move him, if you want to bring in a Maclin or an Eric Decker, or just kick the tires, see if they can play the slot, because they're not going to start over Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith. You obviously drafted 2 wide receivers. You want your kids to get some playing time. But if there is a very specific reasoning behind wanting to kick the tires on them, I'm fine, but I'm not bringing them in for big money.
Oh, no.
It would have to be hey, you got a shitload of money out of Kansas City. You know we're cap restricted. If you want to be here, you got to work with us.
All right, this is my issue with it, okay? To you guys, to the Madden fans out there that think that this is all realistic, okay? Your wide receiving core right now, Jeffrey, Matthews, Aguilar, three guys you drafted, and Mac Hollins, Shelton Gibson, and Greg Ward, who you got as a free agent. Okay, but forget Greg Ward. Okay, just talk about.
He's going to be a practice squad guy.
Just talk about Mac Hollins. Okay, and then Shelton Gibson that you drafted, and you have Dorial Green Beckham. Bryce Drake stinks. Okay, but my point is that you bringing in a Macklin or a Decker is not allowing, again, giving an organization, giving guys you draft a chance and owing it to yourself. You're not owing anything you're not giving that back to yourself if you don't give Aguilar in his third season the opportunity to take a step forward and find out who he is. You can like him or dislike him, but at the end of the day, you owe that as an organization to yourself to allow to see if the kid can play. Just like you owe it to Marcus Smith as an organization for yourself, Howie Roseman. So that's my opinion on it, where as much as I like Macklin, I'm not against Jeremy Macklin, and I like Decker. I'm not against him either. But it log jams it too much. Plus, you have Torrey Smith, who I left out of there as well. So, I mean, just in Jeffrey, Smith, Matthews, and Aguilar, there's four. There's your four. So, what's Macklin coming in to be a 5? Why would he do that to himself in a one-year deal?
That's why I'm saying the only way that you can bring in a Macklin or a Decker is if Matthews is on his way out. You can't bring him in and just expect him to be a 5.
I like Greg Ward, Lenny, too.
I like Greg Ward a lot. I think that's going to be a steal.
Yeah.
2 years down the road, that's going to be a steal.
Bob Hartman, real quick. Receiver has been the sexy position since Charles Johnson and Terrence Small and Pinky and Trash leading to TL. And then eventually Deshaun Macklin. Zeke made running back the sexy position last year. So we don't think it's about the talent with receivers. It's more about wide receivers and running backs being the sexy position. And then Lenny says carry 6. Carry Jeffrey, Smith, Matthews, Aguilar, Hollins, Gibson, Ward to the practice. I completely agree with that. That's your 6. I don't think Beckham.
I think
Beckham's in there.
I think we've already established.
Yeah, that's a good 6, Len. I like that 6 a lot.
That was my 6 when we did our roster.
Who's the 6 over Beckham?
So it would be Gibson and Hollins.
It's
the 2 rookies.
It's 2 rookies.
Yeah, it's Alshon, Torrey.
Yeah. The 4.
Aguilar, Matthews, and then the 2 rookies. Yeah. Tregg's gone.
Yeah.
Beckham gone.
Like Wilson said, Beckham's the biggest,
Paul Turner,
softest big guy.
There's no doubt. And the only thing that Beckham stays is just because he's a veteran. And he's not good. I'm not saying he's any better than these guys. But you could probably get rid of or push one of these guys to a practice squad just to have Beckham and that.
A little deeper.
To be a little deeper. Just off the bat. And then, once he reminds us how terrible he is in week 3, then everything comes off. I just don't think you can just let a guy you traded for him. You just can't let him go just to let him go.
Well, wouldn't Macklin or Decker, for argument's sake, come in and take Aguilar's spot, not Jordan Matthews?
Aguilar's an outside guy.
Okay.
Decker is more of a slot guy. Macklin, and it's interesting because I had a buddy of mine tell me that Macklin was playing primarily in the slot in Kansas City. And I was like, wait a minute, no. He's not a slot guy. He never has been a slot guy. And I think a lot of people mistake the fact that he does a lot of good stuff across the middle of the field with being a slot receiver. But I actually went back and I looked at his snap count from position last year in Kansas City, and I was actually wrong about that. And Scott McCoy, you were right. He actually did play a lot out of the slot last year in Kansas City. So that tells me that if they did want to try to play him there, they could. I understand Tommy's point. But
whoever Jordan? You know what I mean?
If you're going to move Jordan. If you're not moving him, then the whole discussion is moot.
But do we agree with, I'm not going to move Jordan Matthews for either one of them at this point?
No.
You're right.
What you're doing is you're looking to float Jordan Matthews to an AFC playoff contender who's light at wide receiver, and you're trying to get a second or a third rounder back for him.
Yeah, and guess what? You just don't have the money, too, to pull off, this sign either.
Which then comes back to Howie. If you're the money guy, why don't we have any money?
Well, it's because he's spent big, and I'm okay with that.
Here we go. So Lenny says Gibson will sit on Sundays. Hollins is our best special teamer other than Maragos. Bob Hartman, if Ward is that good, and other teams see that too, then putting him on the practice squad is a big risk, no question. Yeah. But then he goes, no, all about money with Aguilar / Decker and Macklin. It is, and they owe it to Aguilar and to their organization. Can he play or not?
And
not saying
the reality is, if you're signing Matt Macklin or Decker, you're signing him for what Aguilar makes. So would you rather take a chance on the young guy who you drafted and you invested a first-round pick in, or a guy who's got a hot wife in Decker, right?
Well, I mean, we're all in for the,
right. But see, that's the thing for
stories, but we can see that without him being here.
Exactly. but that's the reality, though. That's
Rob
the money
Povey,
we're
ladies and gentlemen.
That's the money we're
in
talking.
their bathroom.
That's the money. I'm not.
Right, but
I'm not talking big money, but
right. But that's the thing with me is I'm not giving up on Aguilar.
I'm not either.
I'm saying is if you're asking me, what I'm saying is 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 are locked. So if a guy like Macklin or Decker or even somebody else that may get released later on, if one of those guys comes in, it's because Jordan Matthews is getting moved. That's pretty much where I would leave it. But that said, I might have feelers out right now on Jordan Matthews. Because if you're going to get something for him, the return on that is going to be highest right now before training camp starts.
Yeah, Bob Hartman says they've been disappointed in Gibson. Reports are that they've been a little disappointed.
He's having trouble catching the ball.
And then Lenny's talking about like release. And like Lenny talking about Aguilar, he's like releasing Aguilar, it's dead money. So that's not.
But nobody's talking about.
No. There is people out there that have said that. They're idiots.
They're the ones that are brain dead.
They're around. I don't like them, but they're around. Sean Spielman, how did Macklin play out of the slot because he was hurt most of the year and couldn't be the outside wide receiver because he was hurt? So he's saying that's why he played more slot than outside. But
and
still,
and Alex Smith can't throw to the outside, so he throws down the middle.
If the guy's going to Buffalo and leaves without a deal, I mean, it's telling to me. Team that could really use.
Although landing in a nice spot in Baltimore, though, it's his next stop. You can't get.
He may have left Buffalo because he doesn't like the situation.
No, that could be it too.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet come over today. I was just reminded the Buffalo Bills drafted J.P. Lausman in the first round, who is now somehow getting a coaching
gig
at Clemson.
Yeah, he's going to be
he's
going to be Davo's intern.
Davo's intern.
You know what they do?
But that's just
what they say about interns.
That's the big culture up there in Buffalo, though. So you're right. That's probably why the ultimate reason why he left. That and he didn't want to get on Shady's bus.
Yeah.
Huh.
Although Shady was just at Macklin's wedding.
Apparently a bunch of them were. Apparently Andy Reid was.
Oh, he was.
And he fired him, more or less, 10 days later.
Yo, just wait till my wedding's done, and then we're good.
Yeah, well, guess what? I mean, he knew he was going to land on his feet.
But we laugh at that, but in all seriousness.
Baltimore's a great fit for him, too.
It is.
It would be.
In all seriousness,
Flacco needs him.
I'd be willing to bet that actually happened.
Oh, there's no doubt.
I'm sure there had to be a discussion somewhere between Macklin and Andy.
They've been together for so long.
Where Andy basically said, listen, we're going to let you go, but we're going to wait till after the wedding, the honeymoon, the whole deal.
He paid him a ton of money, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like he didn't, he gave him, when they signed him to a boatload of money where we couldn't even get in the conversation with it. It was like, the doors are blowing off. Good for you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
You bet it on yourself, and he won.
There's a whole commentary. Yeah, there's a whole commentary out there, though, that Kansas City released him because he's washed up and he sucks and he's this and he's that. No. Kansas City is in worse cap shape than we are. And they got themselves $10 million back by releasing him. I mean, they could sign 3 players for what they got back by cutting him. So, good for them, bad for Macklin, but like you said, with Flacco how interesting is it, though, that Flacco really hasn't had a great wide receiver since Torrey Smith left, who now plays for the Eagles.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Macklin fills in where Steve Smith, at least on the leadership, playing. Steve Smith's obviously outside, but retired last year, fills that leadership role for that receiving core down there. Yeah. If that ends up coming to fruition,
it could. It very well could.
But no, to the point though, I think that they have to compete for an NFC East title, or it's a failure. I think it's real simple. I mean, Carson's going into year 2. Yeah. You got to expect, you would assume there's growth and he gets better. And with some of the weapons around them, how can this offense not be better? And I think the defense really got hurt when Ron Brooks went out last year because now they're dopes and they move, Malcolm Jenkins into the slot. And we yelled and screamed about this for months. But that's helping his defense that was really lights out before that injury. So, I think if they're not, it's a problem.
But that's where I think they might lack the most is on the defensive end with talent-wise. And I think that's where, as good as Barnett might be, that's where I think you lacked when you didn't take a Foster right there, because you need that leader in that middle of that field as you pounded home numerous of times. I think on the defensive end, we lack that playmaker. We lack that guy that's going to shut somebody down, whether it's a running back, whether it's a cornerback, on the outside. So I think while we do have some weapons on offense and we're going to score a ton of points, I think we're still back in the Chip Kelly where we're still going to give up a ton of points too.
See, I don't know. And obviously we need to see it all play out on the field. But I feel like Rasul Douglas is the real deal by all accounts. And when we get our guy, the guy that, we were ready to draft in the first round, when we get Sidney Jones back, I think you're going to have two solid corners. I think you've addressed defensive end. I think your point with linebacker play is valid. I think Jordan Hicks has to be healthy for an entire season. I think the outside guys, whether it's Kendricks or somebody else, these guys have to be more solid on the edges than they've been. I think the defense has a shot to be real, real good, but I could also see them going the other way because, to Tommy's point, the defense was real, real good early part of last year, and then injuries, guys playing out of position, guys kind of just shut it down before they should have, if we're being honest. So there are a couple of guys, though, on the defensive side of the ball that apparently were guys that were on the fringe last year that are suddenly big time on the radar right now. And one of them's an outside linebacker, one of them's a defensive end, Steven Means and Alex McAllister. Supposedly, Alex McAllister is a beast right now. Said he showed up looking like Javon Curse. So I'll be interested to see what he does once camp starts.
Well, at the end of the day, can you get after the quarterback? I mean, we know it, and you drafted Barnett to help get after the quarterback.
That's what you drafted him for.
Brandon Grant, he's here. He gets after the quarterback. Now the big question is, can your big hog in the middle and Tommy Jernigan, who I believe is a pretty good pass rushing D tackle, especially playing next to Fletcher.
Yeah.
It would help anybody out. Can that front four? And I believe going into last year that front seven was, I think I was putting them in the top 5 in football going into the year. Now, it didn't pan out that way, and I'll say it again this year. I believe it should be a top 5 front seven in football. Should be.
Somebody tell me
when you have the best defensive tackle in football, money-wise, right?
Right.
Should
Money-wise,
be.
yeah.
You should be a top 5 defense.
Can you tell me
top 5 front seven?
How they didn't call a carry or a discontinued double dribble on that?
The NBA.
That was ridiculous, though.
I love Bobby Taylor. Bob Hartman.
He held the ball on his
Taylor.
hip for about 3 seconds before he dribbled
NBA.
again.
There's no walks.
It's atrocious.
It's horrible.
Bob Hartman, Troy Vincent compared Douglas to Bobby Taylor, my personal favorite. Lenny goes.
It's a good comparison.
Lenny goes, loved Bobby.
Bobby was great.
And them two are
Troy Vincent wasn't too bad in his own right.
Well, I mean,
and Lenny goes, I think him and talking about him and Bob are getting into a little sports bromance right now.
It's possible
on the page.
Well, I mean, it's interesting though because Andy was smart though because he had Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor, and then he backed them up later on with Lito and Sheldon,
and Michael Lewis in that same draft.
Well, and he had Al Harris. You said
real good
with
slot
Michael
guy.
Lewis, he had Al Harris playing the slot.
Real good slot guy.
If Doug can learn anything from Andy about making sure you're solid on the corners and then back them up with younger guys.
I mean, I'm a Mills guy because he's physical.
Yeah.
And he's got green hair.
Yeah, that's fun too. It's fun too.
But no, those
Rodney,
LSU corners, those LSU defensive backs get after it.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Well, I mean, ideally.
If my back's against the wall in a draft, I'm going to go SEC.
Yeah.
If my back's against the wall, like, I'm wavering on 2 guys, I'll go SEC.
Yeah.
I'll take my shot.
I mean, ideally next year, Sidney Jones and Rasul Douglas are your starting corners, and Jalen Mills is playing the slot. I'd be take that all day next year.
Oh, next year, yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking 2018.
Yeah.
Got to get Sidney Jones healthy first.
Yeah, Lenny gives our DBs have been killer. Our DBs for years were killers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob Harmon, I was 7 years old and watched Bobby Taylor shut Irvin down. Me too. Went out and got his jersey right after
7 years
Love
old.
Bobby.
Jesus Christ, do I feel old. Thanks, Bob.
Bobby always shut Irvin down. Irvin stopper. Irvin stopper. Rubbing the feet. Irvin stopper. Kobe stopper. We know how that goes. All right. So let's get into this game a little bit. NBA Finals as we continue to move on here. And that segment was brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com.
I want to talk about your last backyard sesh.
Which one?
The one on LeBron.
When I was in here?
Oh, were you in here? Oh, you were in here. Correct.
When people try telling me that I was taking somebody else's thoughts, what the fuck are you talking about?
Because two people can't have the same opinion.
I literally was talking to my dad on the phone and said, oh, shit. You can ask my wife. I said, oh, shit. I got to go do a video about this. That's how it went. Taking somebody's fucking thoughts. Get the hell out of here, dude. All right? And people that I know for, like a guy I knew for a long time said that on that post. I said, you know me for too long to know that I don't pull that shit. They're facts.
Tell me he didn't carry that.
Oh, yeah. That's all they do. What I said were just facts. The 6 finals Jordan was in were the highest rated finals in NBA history. How's that somebody else's thoughts? That's a fact. When I said Jordan was the ultimate winner, how is that anything more than freaking factual? When I then said that, in my opinion, LeBron is an author of independence where guys can go wherever they want because the king set the table in a league of followers, how is that not factual? Sorry.
No,
I cleared the air because if I was going to take somebody's shit, I would say, oh, I give credit to this guy and then debate it that way. I wouldn't just come out like it's my freaking own.
If I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone
Everybody's
has
got
one, and they usually stink.
Hate it. Like Dylan Beeks. Hate it in the house.
The thing that pisses me off, though, about this whole discussion.
Zoe Hansen.
Yeah.
Yo, he was a good slot corner,
No, that's what he's
all
saying.
right?
He's saying Hansen and Boykin, awesome slots.
Well, Boykin lost a step or two real quick, but he was good for a while. But no, the thing that pisses me off about the whole discussion is people want to start comparing LeBron to KD because of what's happening in this series. To me, that argument is null and void because, you want to say that LeBron went out and formed the quote-unquote super team because he couldn't beat the Celtics. He went and he got himself, Chris Bosh, and the two of them went and joined Dwayne Wade in Miami. Fine. They formed a super team. But he didn't go join the Celtics because he couldn't beat them. Like, if KD wants that same love, what he should have done is gone out and found 2 free agents and got signed to a team or had someone come in with him and Russ and then go beat Golden State.
Yeah, but
don't go join Golden State.
No, and that's a cop-out for a team that you were up 3-1 against in the finals, and then you go join them the next year. That's a cop-out. But LeBron started that whole – and people try to tell me Boston did. No, that was different. Nobody that they got was at the level or a game changer to the level of LeBron James. Nobody did a TV interview about the decision. Okay, nobody made it about themselves like he did. So when you talk about independence, that's independence of you saying it's about me and anything else doesn't matter, and it's all about my name and my brand. And it started this whole thing where now guys say, "Oh, it's not a big deal because they'll love me at the end. They'll love me when it's all said and done."
Well, back up a half step though, because the situation with Boston, that wasn't the players doing that. That was the front office trying to find these 3 guys that they could fit together and were guys willing to take salary cuts to make it all work under the cap. And what happened was, and don't give me this shit with Los Angeles. Oh, they had Shaq and Kobe and Gary Payton and Karl Malone. Because Gary Payton and Karl Malone were washed up.
They were terrible.
Shaq was washed up. And
you can't build a super team when you
draft a guy. And they were playing on $1 million contracts. The only one on that team that had anything left was Kobe.
And you can't say you built it because you drafted them.
Right.
So you didn't go out and buy them.
Well,
you drafted them, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the reason Shaq went there is because at the time Orlando wasn't going to pay him.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's all it came down to. He wasn't trying to get out of Orlando. It was like, oh, we're not going to pay you. And LA was a
I'm
big
a free
market and
agent.
said,
Well,
I'm
I'm
going
a
to give
free
you
agent.
a lot of money.
Yeah, let's just call it what it is. The first super team that was, we'll call it, built by the players was Miami. That's it.
That's it.
It was built by the players. Boston
wasn't.
Boston wasn't. Boston was a front office build. The Lakers.
Weren't they all trades?
You
They
can't.
are.
They were all trades, right?
For Boston, yes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
all trades.
Yeah, because Billy.
Garnett,
and then
Pierce.
Billy King wound up getting fleeced at the end because he took them off of Boston.
He tried pulling the same move. It
Yeah.
was just a little too late.
Right. This all stems from the age of all these guys in the NBA right now. They're coming up in the age of huge AAU money.
No, you're absolutely right.
And teams. So when you're growing up, you're used to playing with your boys.
Yeah.
So you can go out and play with your best friends, and you're going to win a whole bunch of championships because you know each other. Now you get in the NBA, and you have no decision on where you're going to go until you're a free agent.
Right.
So
they want to go play with their boys
They all want to
again.
go play with their boys again because they know that's fun. They know that's what they used to do, as opposed to being where you're supposed to be or playing with the team that built you there and that put you there. I don't think the comparisons with KD and LeBron are based off of impact. I just think their skill levels are being compared. Because KD is an absolute freak as well, but I don't think they're in the same ballpark because KD is more of a pure scorer.
Well, they're different kinds of players.
Than they are. And that's what I was watching Scottie Pippen yesterday said you cannot compare Jordan and LeBron.
You can't.
Because you have to compare.
Kobe's a better comparison for Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Kobe and Jordan are there, and it's LeBron and Magic because LeBron's a better facilitator. Kobe and Jordan were killers with the basketball.
What do you got?
I'm just getting crushed.
We're killers. They wanted to score. They didn't care about passing the ball.
Right.
Yeah, that's
They
what
want to
Durant
score.
is. Durant's
That's
a
what
killer,
Durant is.
an assassin. I like
LeBron's
assassin.
not. LeBron's
No,
not. LeBron
not
is
an
going to
assassin.
help. Is going to facilitate. He's a great passer. His size helps that. But they're not the same type of ball player that Kobe and Jordan are.
I would actually go so far as to say if you took KD off of Golden State and put LeBron on that team, they would be even better because then you'd have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green getting theirs and not having nearly as many shots being jacked up as KD takes in a game.
Yeah, but KD's comes from the offense. I thought going into this, whether he became the MVP or not, KD was the difference in this series. Because they don't have.
I'm talking season long.
No,
I'm not even talking about just the series. I'm talking season long.
Why would the Warriors in a season they know they're going to get back here? Why would they show you what they're showing you now?
Oh, I completely agree. This was
Why-
a bad.
it's a good
point.
They could win.
Why would you show that?
They
Why
could win
would you show-
70. They could win 73 last year, and it doesn't even. To me, this is 100 times better of a basketball
right.
team.
And the difference is, of course,
Which is
it's gonna
crazy
be
to say
KD,
that, but you know.
and he might not even win the MVP. This is probably the most of the NBA Finals that I've actually watched, and it's just because it's on here in the studio.
Right.
But the difference is the Cavs don't have enough legit guys to guard everybody. If you put LeBron on KD, who's guarding Steph, who's guarding Klay, who's guarding Draymond?
Right.
Too many weapons.
There's too many.
Yeah, you're right.
you can't trust Shumpert, you can't trust J.R. Smith. You know, so someone's going to be open and going to get there, but it all stems from KD being here and being that mismatch.
But even to that point, let's just say you have Kyrie on Klay and you have Kevin Love on Draymond Green, and you have to run an army at Steph. No one in that army that you run at Steph is going to stop.
No, and that's the point. So you're right. You guard the three, and someone's going to be left open.
Yeah. That's a good point.
These guys. So Jarrell goes, Tom, looking skinny between those two, right? Then I said, camera lies.
Well, gee, Jarrell, tell us something we don't already know.
Sean goes, Jarrell, Tom looks like the now cheap Oreo cookie between them. Big cookies, no filling. Tom over there looking like a lightweight ready to fight Mayweather, Lenny says. And then Matt Krug says, he's been losing weight for a while but never admits it. P90X are known. As Tom's looking skinny and young. Jarrell, expect he's got to wear a hat to cover up that bald head. Yeah, true. It's going back. And, Jesus, that was great. Good times.
There you go.
Fun. Woo. I was crying a little bit there for a minute. A little teary. The boys were coming in. So, do you think it's a sweep?
No. I think they get this one, actually.
I don't think it's a sweep either.
It's just the NBA can't have a sweep.
No.
They
cannot.
And they rigged it last year. You can say whatever you want. They rigged it last year. They're going to rig it.
We just had a Kyle Korver sighting, by the way. We did. Robbie, what's up?
I was waiting for this. This is a comment we got earlier on YouTube. Applies to this subject matter. David Rosca chimes in, Warriors will sweep the series. I mean, I don't think that's...
I mean, it could happen. It could happen.
He's entitled to his opinion, and that's fine. I mean, I just don't think it's going to happen because same thing you guys said. It's just NBA can't have a sweep.
Nah, they can't have a sweep, man. Now when one of their biggest figures, media-wise, is out there saying how the Stanley Cup's better.
In fact, I think they need to have at least 6.
Yeah, you can't.
I do too.
You can't play this season knowing that these two teams are going to be here, and then this series becomes a sweep. Either way, regardless of who wins, you couldn't happen.
Lenny goes, Tom, you got to get that LeBron treatment on the head. I might start going headband now. Maybe the headband brings it back. Maybe it's all about the band that allows the growth. I'm going to reach out and I'm going to slide into LeBron's DMs later. And
it all goes down.
And maybe the hair all goes up in the DM.
Can we take it real old school, though? If you start wearing the headband, can I write Roselle across it? Go back to the Jim McMahon days?
Jim McMahon days. I like McMahon.
Oh, so did I.
Good Lord, Kyrie finally playing basketball. Where's the big Ferramento at? Tristan Thompson.
Hopefully on the bench.
Right? You know what I'm saying now?
You got Kyle Korver.
That's not a great nickname.
Oh, it's great.
The big
Kyle
Ferramento.
Korver and Richard Jefferson in the game.
Wow, that spilled out. Big break.
Yeah, you do get a little glare off my forehead. I apologize about that. I'll start hatting it up again, guys.
Think about this, though. In this series, and it
we need makeup to come in.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen because Korver doesn't sniff.
Left! Reload!
I did it!
I never know what she's doing.
Len mascara! Now!
It's a shame Korver doesn't see the field.
Mom, I've done my segment!
It's a combo to light in the head, all smacking you.
Who just got fired, by the way, by ESPN.
But
who did?
John Clayton.
Do you love how I rolled that from the movies to John Clayton?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
But you could have 4 of the best shooters currently in the NBA on the floor at one time.
Right.
If Korver could sniff the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine that shooting display? Just come across half court, all 4 of them are open. You get 3 on Golden State, 1 on obviously Cleveland.
Foul.
How did he not call that?
Good rebound, Richard Jefferson.
Because it wasn't a foul. He's a 7-footer going up against Kyrie.
Matt Kruckers. Korver dunked earlier.
Oh!
Speaking of Krucker, that's a
little
nice
Ashton
Batman. It's a nice Batman walker you got for his kid.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sick.
Good work.
That was good work, Krucker.
Good parenting. Parenting 101, Krucker.
There we go.
Pleasure winning the chip with you. You and the boys.
Sandbaggers.
This past weekend.
So we got 11 minutes left. Was Charles wrong?
No. And listen,
not even close.
I'll be honest with you. You know me with hockey, okay?
Right.
I'm not a hockey guy. It's my fourth sport, right? Now, have I watched a lot of Stanley Cup finals? No, really just time-wise. But the little bit that I have watched, it's no question. Now this game has been the best of the playoffs.
Sure.
So far. Because it's close. Now, can it change? Yeah, this could end up being a great series. Now, if that's the case, then that's good for the NBA. But right now, the NBA looks bad. And the reason the NBA looks bad all circles back to one decision years ago that caused the influx of power. There's no middle. It's either you're a power team or you're terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're just not going to be good enough. And the NBA hurts themselves because then again, if you're the worst team, you're not guaranteed nothing. So how do you really get better?
Right.
It's all a mess. But
and how many times though in the NHL do you see a 6, 7, or 8 seed advance all the way to the conference finals because goalie got hot or one of their scorers starts finding the back of the net?
The Flyers did.
There's no parity in the NBA. The better team is going to win.
Go.
Real big stat here. Stanley Cup final rings are up 75% here from a year ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know why? Because Nashville's like almost becoming Hockey Town, USA.
Right.
I mean, it really is.
It was thanks to that Game 4 victory. Yep.
I mean, the ratings are helping because, I mean, Nashville, I was reading the guy who wrote a comment on your page.
I was just going to that right now.
Was saying how, being down in Nashville, that it's unbelievable, the love for hockey. They sell out every game in the regular season, too. So it's not just, fraudness now where they're coming out of the woodwork. So really good hockey town, becoming one.
And that's what Carrie and I love, and not that no one doesn't
Carrie?
love Carrie.
Oh,
but in the intermission last night, she said that. She goes, it has always been a hockey town. It's just, the Preds have had to teach a little bit and grow the game, but it's always been a hockey town.
Yeah.
It's just now being promoted.
And it's a great travel town, too.
I have a buddy.
And
I have a buddy
town.
who lives there, right downtown, right next to the Bridgestone Arena. Like, he's been begging me to come down for obviously a game. I'm like, there's no shot. I'm like, but I would love to.
Yeah.
Well, guy that I grew up with, played Little League Baseball with, the whole deal. John Boddicker. I mean, he's a Philly guy, but same type of scenario. He lives down there. He chimed in earlier. Went to Game 3 in Nashville. Was absolutely insane. Lots of talk how Nashville isn't a hockey town, but I beg to differ. Grew up in Philly, love the Flyers, but this is insane down here. Games are almost always sold out for the regular season, and the fans are very passionate down here.
I've never heard chants that loud, that long, and in unison in any sport anywhere.
Hey, it's a music town.
Music City.
Music City, baby. They better be in unison.
Pardon me.
Damn it. Better be.
You got Carrie and Keith Urban leading it. Like,
Yeah.
let's go.
You better be smooth. All right. So Bob Hartman, Barkley was dead on. The entire NHL playoffs have been better than the NBA playoffs, and Bob Hartman sounds like Philly when Snyder brought the Flyers here.
Yeah.
Change the culture. Change the culture.
Interesting tidbit here from AAA.
He's saying we're going to get him away from it one day. One day it'll all be up, and he never and he can delete all the fucking apps.
All his notifications go off.
No, it's actually not a.
One day you're just going to get one, Michael.
No, it's not a Phillies. Not even a Phillies update. It's Oakland A's. Chris Smith, Sean Doolittle, who's actually down on a rehab assignment. Tucker Healy, and Simon Castro combine on AAA Nashville's first no-hitter since 2007.
Wow.
Really no-hitter.
That cracks me up, though, in minor leagues, you get like 4 or 5 guys that combine on a no-no.
7 guys get a no-no.
Because this guy's only scheduled to throw 4.
Yeah.
Well, he gets through 4 innings on like 25 pitches.
Yeah. If you say no, that's all he threw. You're absolutely right.
But you're going to yank him because he's only scheduled to go 4.
It's like playing tournament baseball with pitching rules. We're retarded.
And guess what happens? More injuries.
Yeah.
Now,
because you baby arms nowadays.
Yeah.
Arms are babied instead of stretched out, right? It's all pitch counts in this time. I'm not saying a kid needs to throw 130 pitches, but why can't a kid throw 100 pitches over 2 days and he's not going to pitch again for another week? Why does it have to be 80? 80? You know how easy it is to get 80 pitches, right? And then you use more arms. You use guys who don't really throw.
You're supposed to be throwing.
And then what happens to them guys? They don't throw from the right arm angles, blah, 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 blah. And then what happens to them? Now they need surgery. Yep. So it's just a cluster. Back in the day, guys went out and threw. All right? I'm not saying Tommy Johns aren't needed now and things happen, but guys went out and threw.
Well, the guy that we were talking about
and
earlier.
This hurts too.
Hunter
This
Green.
is hurting it too.
Hunter Green, a guy who's probably going to be the first draft pick overall in the Major League Baseball draft with his throwing program. That he's throwing pitches from 110, 120, 130 yards, and he's getting it stretched out so that when he goes to 60 feet 6 inches, then he could throw 100, 110, 120 at 95 to 102 miles an hour, and it's not ripping his arm off of his shoulder so that he can go play shortstop the next day.
What happened today of long tossing every day?
And that's what
you know
he does.
What I mean?
And that's the key, though. He's
long
doing
tosses
it
every
doing
day.
it
So he should
every
do.
day so that he can play every day. And his aspirations of affecting the game in 2 positions, being a major league shortstop and then coming in and closing the game,
is unbelievable.
I hope the kid does it.
Me too.
And I think if there is any time, it is today in today's world and in today's Major League Baseball. Guys like that are going to be able to start doing it.
But guess what? That's
you have the guy over in Japan doing it at the highest level over there.
Yeah, Otani,
Yeah, and he's a stud. Now he DHs a lot. He doesn't play shortstop, but he pitches. He's a starter. If you're
when he gets signed by a major league team, he'll be able to play free every day, pitch every fifth day, and still DH that day he's pitching, and then continue to DH even days he's not.
Yeah,
I already got him on fantasy.
It's a smart move.
And it's a lot easier to do that in the American League when you have the DH. Yes.
And Matty Krukty says, I want to see the Japanese dude who throws 100 and hits bombs. Yeah.
There you go.
Babe Ruth of Japan. I want to see him too. But you're right. And it will change the game. But guess what? He's not.
But that's not every kid.
That's not every kid. But guess what? If every kid long tossed every day and stretched their arm out every day and stretched beforehand and then used their weightlifting on their legs and their power off their legs and really gain ground essentially with their legs off a mound, guess what that does to that arm? It saves it. I don't believe in like a pitcher shouldn't be bench pressing and doing triceps. They should be doing
stretching.
They should be doing stretching and like, bands and stuff like that where you're gaining strength that way more so than you are, I need to be jacked.
You're gaining flexibility.
Yeah, you're not playing football.
Well, I know real quick because I know we're getting close to that time, but we got some local love going on here too. I mean, your boys from Audubon was it sectional or
state semis?
State semis. My Pennsbury Falcons are in the Pennsylvania 6A state quarters tomorrow, and then of course my Westchester Golden Rams D2 national champs. Take that all day. So good stuff happening in the area while you were on vacation.
Yeah, I was trying to see if I didn't get confirmation if Eustis won today or not.
Eustis lost 3-2.
They lost it. And Audubon.
St. Augustine.
And Audubon lost 3-2. How about that? Two of my squads out there losing 3-2.
Highland lost
Bummer.
7.
We got to get rid of that
7-3,
score.
like that.
But guess what? I mean, Eustis is loaded for next year.
Oh my goodness.
Duff's back. Matt Orlando's back. Conklin ends up being a sophomore.
Stud.
I mean, they're loaded. Now, Audubon will take they have some good freshmen, and they always do. I mean, it's a baseball town, and, they'll regroup it within a year or two and be back. But the only reason they're not playing for a state title is because of Danny Wilson and the arm. That's the only reason, because they got this far without him throwing.
Right.
So, I mean, if he was healthy, there's no question that they mow through this and they bring home a state this year. But still South Jersey champs, and that goes for something.
Oh, absolutely.
That counts.
Absolutely.
That
There's no
counts.
doubt about it.
And Coach Horan, guy I played for 500 wins over the last couple of weeks here, and you got to congratulate him on that because I call him the godfather of baseball. And he's just great, man. I mean, he does it. And it's not like Audubon shies away from competition. I mean, they're in the Diamond every year, and we compete in the Diamond every year. We win Diamond Classics against big powerhouse schools. We don't shy away from playing GC and Eustis in the Shawl. And so, all through. I mean, we've always played these teams and never shied. So just being a Group 1, Group 2 school, it's not like we haven't played the powerhouse programs and beat them.
You know what though, and that's to me that's the best part about baseball though is baseball more than any other sport at the high school level. You could have the small school play the big school and beat up on the big school, and I love that.
Oh yeah, Bob Hartman. Before we get out, forget his name, but you guys heard about the hockey prospect that can't do a pull up and benched 160 once.
Was it one of the kids that's going 1 or 2?
Probably. So maybe he's just a guy who's not a weightlifter. Oh, Clay got hurt.
Might be talking Nolan Patrick, maybe.
Maybe.
All right, that's interesting. Though.
Wasn't
But a guy who's not.
wasn't
guy who
that
works
due
on
to
his
injury
legs.
though?
I think it was, but it don't matter. He scores goals. He's a center.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably his point. That's his point, I'm sure.
I mean,
Corver
sighting.
Uh-oh. Biggest lead of the year. 7 points.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
All right, so does that wrap it up? We got a minute? Yeah. So I'd like to thank all our sponsors. Our Wednesday night show sponsor, Gibson Mayer LLC.
Jim Gibson chiming in tonight.
Chiming in. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Soap Stash LLC, the new soap standard. Find them on the web, soapstash.com. Right on Facebook, Soap Stash LLC. BMW of Atlantic City, exit 37 of the Parkway. BMW of AtlanticCity.com. Scanzano Sports, ScanzanoSports.com. Sports Outlet Inc. For Tom Arnone, Michael Mallory, Greg Milakovic, Rob Hogan on the ones and twos. Another edition of Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
A2DRadio.com. We out.
Crosby sucks.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Oh, see you again.